Switching over to the NBA, Joel Embiid has yet to take the floor this year, but it does not mean he ain't been a part of no action. Embiid was involved in an altercation, shoving a local media member who wrote an article about his legacy, but made reference to his son and deceased brother. The NBA has since suspended the former MVP for 3 games, delaying his much-anticipated debut for the season. Samaria, the Sixers need Joel Embiid, but my question for you is, do you feel like this suspension was warranted?
Unfortunately, yes, right? Like you have to have rules and guidelines, right? Like he can't push somebody, even though I think that maybe the push was warranted. You did that, and now you have to kind of pay the consequences. But the columnist, I get it. You have a job to do, right? And being in local TV for 9 years for myself, I never really got to have an opinion. I just always spoke fact, and so I think on this platform, this is kind of like the first time where I can really have an opinion on something and really speak on something, but I don't think that I would ever go that low. Yeah. I think he could have gotten his point across about the legacy of Joel Embiid in Philadelphia without bringing that up, right? Like he knew what he was going to stir up by saying that. And I think he got the reaction that he wanted. I don't know if he thought that Joel was going to shove him. But yeah, I think that the league suspending him for 3 games was necessary, unfortunately. I just think that it just further hurts this 76ers team that just feels like it's just, they just can't get it together. Like I was going to ask you, like, what franchise is the worst, like is more poorly ran? The 76ers or the Dallas Cowboys? No,
we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. It's not even close.
It can go that deep though. It can go that deep.
They've been snake bitten by injury in critical moments, and of course those injuries tend to happen in Joel Embiid. Matt Barnes had this quote that I think is so profound. He said, "Violence is never the answer, but sometimes it is." And in moments like this, I think that you can always tell the men who have never been punched in the face. And I think the thing that is really important for a man at some point in his life is to know the consequences of things that he says. So when I was 15, right, I went to the park. And I talk crazy now, but when I was 15, I was ruthless. And we was hooping at the park, and there's this older cat, I was busting his ass. And I was letting him know about it. And he said, "Yo, say one more thing, and it's gonna be an issue." And I said 2 more things. And by the time I could get the second one fully out of my mouth, he decked me. Whole swole up. And from that moment on, I learned, and it bodes me very well in my profession as a member of the media, which is a different conversation that I also want to touch on with you. But I learned from that moment, I got to be mindful of what I say because there's real life consequences. And I think that sometimes when we get older and we're in our professions, we forget the root of humanity is to be respectful, right? It's important to be respectful of other people and to not say things that can evoke a certain level of emotion because we don't have control of what that emotion does when it's acted upon. And for Joel Embiid, he really got off light because Joel is 7 feet plus, 370 pounds plus, and you just got shoved, bro. Never mention somebody's dead brother. It's way out of bounds. It's way out of pocket. And I'm disappointed that he was even given a pass to be a member of the media on Saturday after Joel Embiid had already said that he felt some kind of way about the article that had previously been published. So a lot of people are at fault for this situation, including the Sixers brass.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that would have been a big story too if they had stopped that columnist from coming to the game. That would have been just another can of worms that you opened up. But I can see how frustrated the fan base in Philly, the media members maybe, are with Joel's production or lack thereof, or maybe not production, because when he's on the floor, he's great, but he just got to get there, the injuries and all of the things. So I can see why they would be frustrated, or why maybe he felt compelled to say anything in this column. But again, you can't go that low. So I feel like we
So,
agree on that. But
and just hearing from certain people in the city of Philadelphia, Mark Lamont Hill, they expressed that this particular columnist is notorious for saying trash things and for
okay,
having trash
okay,
takes. So
yeah,
this is somebody who a lot of people in the city of Philadelphia feel a strong way about and feel like he's a perpetual line stepper. So this is just the first time that he's been held accountable to this degree. And I think that's why the suspension probably was so light, because the relationship between players and media is vitally important for the existence of the NBA. The media
yeah.
are the ones that create the story and storylines that help the NBA, gain new audiences and gain new eyeballs, but also navigate these media deals and media rights. And so, for an infraction to happen between an athlete and a member of the media, and it's only a light 3 games, lets you know that somebody out there also felt like this particular columnist was out of bounds, out of pocket. And I think a 3-game suspension in lieu of what this could mean for the relationship that is so vital to the league, because this suspension was so short, I think it's indicative that they also knew that Joel Embiid was probably a lot more in the right. I do want to say about the Sixers, though, they also received news today that Tyrese Maxey will be out for several weeks. And so now they're starting the season off 1-7. They lost the game last night to the Los Angeles Clippers. And now they're in a position where they're going to be in a really, really deep hole. And there's a chance that we may see the Sixers, who many people had as a dark horse to be in the NBA Finals, actually a team that's in the play-in game. And that'll be interesting. They're going to be a pain in the ass for a higher seed in the Eastern Conference dealing with come playoff time.
Yeah, because I was going to mention that it's unfortunate that they keep having these things kind of delay, from Embiid's injuries to now Maxey being out for several weeks.
Yep.
You cannot come into a season and your starters are not playing. Like they need to be playing. Like Paul George just started playing himself. So I feel like when we get to the end of the season, I don't know if they have had enough time together to be able to defeat a well-oiled machine like the Boston Celtics. I don't know. We'll have to see. But
y'all let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you feel like Joel Embiid's 3-game suspension was warranted? We want to hear from you. Drop us a line in the comment section.